Good morning, children. So, we were discussing the chapter number 2 of geography, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. In this chapter, till now, we have discussed about the various issues related to the land, the soil. We have seen how the land is a very important natural resource, as well as uh, the use of the land is increasing, the need of the land is increasing, but the land is of a limited magnitude. As well as we have also discussed about the land use. The meaning of land use we have discussed, we have seen that when we use the land for different purposes, to that we call as the land use. And as well as we have discussed about the different types of land. In this, we have seen that some kind of lands are private, some are community-owned land, some are, and some this kind of community-owned lands are also called as the common property resources. These are all the things we have discussed, as well as we have seen the demand of the land is increasing, but the availability of land is limited. Even we have also seen that how in course of time the change in land use takes place with the help of this picture. And then we have seen that how can we conserve the land resources, as day by day the population of the world is increasing, the quality of the land or the level of the land quality is decreasing, and therefore somewhere there is a need of conserving this very important natural resource. This also we have seen. We have also discussed the concept of landslide. We have seen that what is landslide. Landslide is basically the movement of the rock debris or the earth down a slope. These all the things we have seen, as well as we have seen the example of the case study of Pangi village in Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh. And then we have also discussed some of the mitigation mechanisms, that how can we control the landslide or how can we reduce the dangers of the landslide, we have discussed in this. And then we have started to discuss about the soil. We have seen the meaning of the soil or the definition of the soil. The soil is the thin layer of the grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. As well as we have discussed the soil profile also. Then we have discussed about the different factors which are helping in the formation of the soil. In these factors, the parent rock, climate, relief, time, flora, fauna, and microorganisms, these are all the factors of soil formation. These are all the things we have discussed. Now today we are going to see the degradation of soil and conservation measures. See, soil erosion or the depletion or the degradation of the soil has the major threat to soil as a resource. That means the soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to the soil as a resource. When we say that the soil is a resource, so as you know very well, day by day the lands are getting uncovered with the forest, means the deforestation is taking place. As the deforestation, as well as the cutting of the forest, as well as the opening of the surface of the soil is taking place, at the same time the soil erosion is also taking place. What is soil erosion? You know very well, we have discussed this matter or this concept various times. When the upper portion of the land, that means the soil, it is getting eroded or floated out with the help of water, or sometimes with the help of the air, or some natural or some human induced things. When the soil is getting uh, displaced from one place to another place, so that is basically called as the soil erosion. These all the things we have discussed in the last in previous classes also. So soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to the soil as a resource, both human and natural factors. It is not like that only the human factors are affecting the quality of the soil, but even the natural factors can also lead to the degradation of soil. Means with the help of human as well as natural factors, the soil degradation is taking place in the world as well as in our country. Now, what are the factors which leads to the soil degradation? These are deforestation, means cutting of the forest. You know very well, as the need of the land is increasing day by day, what the people are doing, they are cutting the forest area, and in place of forest area the agricultural land or the expansion of agriculture is taking place, as well as the settlement areas are getting shifted toward the forested areas. I mean, after cutting the forest, these lands are completely becoming deforested, and then the people are either making the agricultural land over there, or they are using land for the settlements, means the for the human settlement. Even overgrazing is also responsible behind the soil degradation. When the animals are grazing on a pasture land, and that pasture land is left without any treatment, means without any plantation and all that, automatically the overgrazing of that region or that place is also responsible for the soil degradation. Overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the agriculture is also responsible behind the we can say the degrading quality of the soil. So therefore nowadays in the advertisements or in the awareness also, this issue is taking place that the farmers should not use the chemical fertilizers as well as the pesticide, because this can also lead to the uh, soil degradation. Rain wash, yes, when the continuous rain comes, that rain wash is also responsible for the soil degradation. Yes, the basic reason behind the soil erosion or depletion is the deforestation. But when the deforestation is taking place and then rainfall comes, so whenever the continuous rainfall comes and there is no any barrier to the water which is flowing from the surface, then with the help of that water, the rain washes all the soil from a region, and therefore we can say the rainwash is also responsible behind the degradation of the soil. Landslide and floods are also among the factors which leads to the soil degradation. Now in the further part, some conservation measures or how to conserve the soil, some methods are given. Now these methods we are going to understand. So here are some methods of soil conservation. Now the first one is mulching. Now what is mulching basically? See, whenever the plants or any agricultural on the agricultural land the crops are growing, so at that time when we spread the organic matter like the straw, or the grass or the paddy straw, when we spread that, that helps to retain the soil moisture. So this kind of spreading of organic matter in between the two plants, whatever the bare land is there, on that bare land whatever the organic matter is spread, that is also called as mulching. Nowadays the mulching can be done with the help of plastic paper also. That means when if you are planting the crops or if you are planting the plants, at that time we can spread the plastic paper over the soil, so that the soil will be the soil moisture will be retained into the soil. I hope that you would have understood it. So the mulching means what? The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw, the straw of the paddy, or sometimes with the help of plastic paper also. Nowadays the plastic use of plastic paper is increasing in the agricultural practices for retaining the soil into the moisture. Another concept that we are going to understand is the contour barrier. Before going to understand contour barrier, we have to understand the meaning of contour first of all. What is contour basically? The contour are the points on the land which joins the uh, land or the areas of the same height. Means if there is a hill and on this hill, for example, the different places are there on the same height from the sea level. So joining the line, or the joining that all those places of the same height with a single line is called as the contour. So when on this line or on this contour line we make the barriers. Barriers, the meaning of the barrier, the barrier means somewhere a kind of a obstacle, we can say. So when on these contour lines we make the we pile the stones, grass, or we grow the grass or the soil. When we use that on the contour lines, so we are making the barriers along the contours actually, and with the help of this the trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water. For example, if the stones are spread over the contours or the grass is spread over the contour, so just besides besides that contour barrier, we can make the trenches, means a kind of the drainage just besides the contour barriers, that is called that is useful to collect the water. And as we will make the trenches to collect the water, automatically we will all this water will stop, and automatically whatever the soil is getting eroded from that region, that will stop. As well as in these trenches water will be collected, and that water will go inside the land, and automatically with the help of that it will also helpful for the increase of the groundwater level. After this, rock dams. Rock dams. The rock dams. What are the rock dams? See, rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of the water. Whenever any hilly area is there, on the hilly area, the slope of the land is very high, or we can say the slope of the land is very tilted, in a tilted manner, and therefore we can simply say when the rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of the water, this prevents gullies and further soil erosion or soil loss. Means whenever the rock dams are constructed, means the simply, what is rock dams basically? Simply piling up the rocks uh, wherever the slope of the land is there, and with the help of these rock dams, whatever the soil erosion is taking place, this soil eroded soil is getting accumulated near these rock dams, and automatically this helps in the protection of the soil, or this helps to control the soil erosion. With the help of this we can also control the gully type of gully erosion, as well as further soil losses also. Gully erosion means what? Basically when the deep layer of the soil is getting cut through the water, so this kind of erosion of the soil is called gully erosion. Then the another thing is there, that is terrace farming. What is terrace farming basically? If you will see the picture over here, you can see the steps are carved out onto the hill. So when this kind of steps are carved out onto the hill, and on these steps when the agriculture is done, or when the plants are grown or crops are grown, that kind of farming is called as the terrace farming. So simply we can say these are made on the steep slopes, so that the flat surfaces are available to grow the crops. They can reduce the surface runoff, and as well as it is also helpful for soil erosion. So this kind of agricultural practices are commonly found in the Nagaland or some of the northeastern states of our country. Then another concept is the intercropping. What is intercropping basically? When the different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different types to protect the soil from rainwash. Now you will say, sir, how it is done? See, for example, there is a one field of agriculture. So in that field, when the farmers are growing different types of crops. For example, in one row, the farmers are growing the cotton. In another row, If the tur plants are growing, in another row the soybean crop is growing. So in this way, when the different crops are growing in alternate rows, this kind of cropping will help to protect the soil from rainwash. How? Because these crop will be harvested in different times, and you know very well, when the all the time the plants will be there, all the crops will be there, that will hold, all the roots of the plant will hold the soil for most of the period of the year. And with the help of this kind of different crops, or different or intercropping, we can say, this kind of intercropping will be helpful for the protection of the soil from the rainwash. I hope that you would have understood this point. Then contour plowing. Now there is some kind of similarity between the contour plowing and contour barriers. Now what is contour plowing basically? Plowing parallel to the contour of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. Means plowing along with the contours. The meaning of the contour I've already told you. What is contour basically? The contour are the points or the places of the same height, and when it is getting connected with one line, it is called as contour line. So on that contour line, when the plowing is done parallel to the contour of a hill slope to form a natural barrier. So this kind of barriers made by plowing the land parallel to the contour of a hill is called as the contour plowing. And when this kind of plowing will be taken place, automatically that will slow down the flow of the water, and the soil will be protected from the erosion. Now the next is shelter belts. Now what are shelter belts basically? See, shelter belts, you can see the picture over here. In the coastal and dry regions, in the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. See, you know very well that on the coastal region as well as in the desert areas, the speed of the wind is very fast. The reason behind it, there is no any kind of barrier to the wind from the blowing. You know very well that when the winds, you would have visited any coastal area, or you have seen any ocean or sea, or visited any area where there is no any barrier to the land. So at such in such places you will see that winds are blowing so fast. So with what happened with this high speed winds, the sand dunes or the soil are getting shifted from one place to another place. So to stop the soil cover to get shifted to the another place, what we do, we should plant the trees along with or at the four sides of the agricultural area or any land wherever we need to stop the soil movement. So with the help of this, we can say, when we make such kind of belts along with the boundaries of the land, with the help of this kind of shelter belt, the speed of the wind will be controlled, and as the speed of the wind will be controlled, this will help us to protect the soil cover to be at one place. If this kind of shelter belts will not be made, what will happen? With the help of high speed wind, the soil cover will be shifted to another place, and that will lead to the soil degradation. So somewhere these kind of shelter belts are also very helpful. Means the rows of the trees have to be planted to check the wind movement to protect the soil cover. So in this way, all these are the different ways to control the soil erosion, or these are all the methods of soil erosion. And that's all for today's period. And as there is an instruction that from the next day, or from the tomorrow, the classes of 8th standard are not going to be conducted. So this was our last class today. I hope that these all the lectures or all this period were very helpful for all you children. I hope if you will face, or if you will face any kind of problem in understanding or anything, you can message me anytime. I will definitely answer all your questions. If you have any doubt, if you have any problem regarding our subject, you just type the question and send it to me. I will definitely answer that question. Thank you very much. Good day.